Imagine a world where one company controls the entire smartphone market. What would that mean for consumers, developers, and competition? Well, the US Department of Justice alleges that we're living in that world, and Apple is the culprit. In a sensational turn of events, the US Department of Justice has fired a legal salvo at the tech titan Apple. The department alleges that Apple, in its quest for dominance, has engineered an illegal monopoly in the smartphone industry. Now, monopolies aren't typically the best friends of competition, and this case is no different. The lawsuit suggests that Apple's stronghold over the iPhone market has led to a broad, sustained, and illegal course of conduct that's detrimental to the competitive spirit. But it doesn't stop there. The accusations extend beyond the realms of competition and innovation. The lawsuit takes a deep dive into how Apple allegedly manipulates its technology and business relationships to extract more money from consumers, developers, content creators, artists, publishers, small businesses, and merchants. It's like a giant octopus, its tentacles reaching far and wide, drawing in resources from every direction. And what's the end game? Well, the suit alleges that Apple is undermining technologies that compete with its own apps and crafting contracts that allow it to maintain or even extend its monopoly. It's a classic case of the big fish trying to swallow the pond, leaving no room for the little guys to swim. But this isn't a one-man show. The lawsuit is supported by no less than 16 state attorneys general, indicating that the concerns aren't isolated. This action is part of a larger, more aggressive antitrust enforcement effort by the administration that's also setting its sights on other tech giants like Google and Amazon. So we're left with a question that's as intriguing as it is significant. What led us to this point? What transpired in the hallowed halls of Apple that triggered such a sweeping lawsuit? As we delve deeper into this story, we'll try to unravel the threads that make up this complex tapestry. This lawsuit, supported by 16 state attorneys general, is a significant move in the administration's aggressive antitrust enforcement efforts. But what led to this point? How does one company allegedly create an illegal monopoly in smartphones, boxing out competitors and stifling innovation? That's what the Department of Justice is seeking to prove. Picture this: one tech giant, wielding enormous power, is accused of crafting a technological empire that corners the smartphone market. The Department of Justice has launched a sweeping antitrust lawsuit against Apple, alleging that this titan of tech has engineered an illegal monopoly. But what does this mean exactly? And how does it affect consumers, developers, content creators, artists, publishers, small businesses, and merchants? According to the lawsuit, Apple has allegedly used its market power to extract more money from these stakeholders. The accusation is that Apple's monopoly allows it to dictate the rules of the game, leaving everyone else with little choice but to play by them. This is not just about dollars and cents, it's about control and the power to shape the digital ecosystem. The lawsuit also alleges that Apple has gone a step further by undermining technologies that compete with its own apps. This is a serious charge, suggesting that Apple is not just playing to win, but playing to ensure that no one else can even compete. It's like a heavyweight boxer who not only wants to win every fight, but also wants to be the only one allowed in the ring. Perhaps one of the most contentious points in the lawsuit is the claim that Apple crafts contracts that enable it to maintain its supposed monopoly. These contracts are allegedly designed in a way that allows Apple to obtain, maintain, extend, or entrench a monopoly. If true, this would mean Apple is not just playing the game, it's also setting the rules and changing them when it suits its interests. This lawsuit isn't a standalone incident, it's part of a more extensive administration's aggressive antitrust enforcement efforts. These efforts have not only targeted Apple but also other tech giants like Google and Amazon. It seems the government is looking to level the playing field, and big tech is in the crosshairs. The Department of Justice isn't going it alone, though. It has the backing of 16 state attorneys general, indicating that this is not just a federal concern, but a nationwide issue. This lawsuit represents a significant challenge to Apple's dominance in the smartphone market and could potentially reshape the tech industry. Is this the beginning of the end of Apple's reign in the smartphone market? Or is it just a bump in the road for the tech giant? Only time will tell. Apple, however, is not taking these accusations lying down. In the face of such serious allegations, Apple has been quick to respond, and they're not pulling any punches. Apple, the tech titan that has shaped our digital lives with its iconic iPhone, has firmly rejected the allegations leveled against it. Responding to the US Department of Justice's antitrust lawsuit, Apple has declared that the lawsuit is wrong on the facts and the law. Apple's response is a robust counter to the accusations of monopolistic behavior. The company asserts that it has not only been a catalyst for innovation, but also a champion of competition. Apple claims that it has fostered a vibrant ecosystem that benefits consumers, developers, artists, and merchants alike. The tech giant has not shied away from defending its business practices. It argues that its control over the iPhone's software and hardware delivers a seamless, high-quality user experience that customers have come to expect and value. Apple contends that this integration is not a monopolistic practice, but rather a key differentiator that sets it apart in a highly competitive market. Apple also takes issue with the claim that it extracts more money from its ecosystem. The company maintains that its commission structure is industry standard, and that it provides significant value for that fee, including access to a global customer base, secure payment processing, and robust development tools. Beyond refuting the allegations, Apple has also promised to vigorously defend against it. With the stakes as high as they are, Apple's determination to fight the lawsuit signals that it believes in the strength of its case. It's a clear message that Apple is not going to back down or compromise on its vision for the iPhone. But what might this mean for the future of the smartphone market? This lawsuit has the potential to reshape the smartphone landscape, and the outcome could have far-reaching implications. As Apple stands its ground, the world watches with bated breath, awaiting the next chapter in this high-stakes tech drama. A lawsuit of this magnitude has the potential to upset the apple cart, so to speak. What could be the fallout of this legal battle? If the Department of Justice succeeds in proving its case against Apple, the implications could be far-reaching. For Apple, the most immediate impact would be a potential restructuring of its business practices. The tech giant might be compelled to change how it operates, particularly in relation to the ways it allegedly leverages its control over the iPhone to outmaneuver competition. The ripple effects of such a lawsuit could also extend to other smartphone manufacturers. A successful lawsuit could potentially pave the way for increased competition in the smartphone market. If Apple is no longer able to maintain its alleged monopoly, this could open doors for other players to gain a larger market share. The landscape of the smartphone industry could shift dramatically, with more opportunities for smaller, innovative companies to make their mark. Developers, too, would feel the impact of a successful lawsuit. They could potentially find a more level playing field, no longer having to navigate around Apple's alleged stranglehold on the market. This could lead to an increase in the diversity of apps available to consumers, as developers would have more freedom to innovate and compete. And let's not forget the consumers. After all, they are the ones who stand to gain the most from increased competition. If the lawsuit leads to a more competitive market, we could see a drop in prices for smartphones and related products. Consumers could also benefit from a surge in innovation, with more choices and better products. However, it's important to note that these are all potential outcomes. The reality of the situation is that the lawsuit is just beginning, and it's unclear how it will ultimately play out. Apple, for its part, has vowed to vigorously defend against it. Furthermore, it's worth bearing in mind that the tech industry is notoriously fast-paced. By the time this lawsuit reaches its conclusion, the landscape of the smartphone market could have changed significantly. New technologies could emerge, new players could enter the field, and consumer preferences could shift. In conclusion, the potential impact of this lawsuit is vast and complex. It could change the smartphone industry in ways we can't even begin to predict. But regardless of the outcome, it's clear that this lawsuit is a significant event in the tech world, one that could have lasting repercussions. As this case unfolds, one thing is clear: the world of smartphones may never be the same again. As we await the outcome of this monumental lawsuit, it's vital to remember the core issue at hand: competition. The U.S. Department of Justice accuses Apple of constructing an unlawful monopoly in the smartphone market, a claim that, if proven, could significantly reshape the tech landscape. The lawsuit alleges that Apple leverages control over the iPhone to engage in a broad, sustained, and illegal course of conduct. It contends that Apple strategically sculpts its technology and business relationships to extract more money from consumers, developers, content creators, artists, publishers, small businesses, and merchants. The heart of the accusation lies in Apple's alleged undermining of technologies that compete with its own apps and its crafty contracts that, it is claimed, enable it to obtain, maintain, extend, or entrench a monopoly. In response, Apple has vehemently denied these allegations, describing the lawsuit as mistaken both on the facts and the law. The tech giant has promised to vigorously defend against the lawsuit, setting the stage for what promises to be a landmark legal battle. The potential implications of this case are far-reaching. If the lawsuit is successful, it could force Apple to transform its business practices, opening up the field for more competition and potentially leading to more choice and better prices for consumers. On the other hand, if Apple emerges victorious, it could reinforce its dominant position in the smartphone market, potentially stifling innovation and competition. This lawsuit is not just about Apple. It's a reflection of the administration's aggressive antitrust enforcement efforts. With similar legal actions being taken against other tech giants like Google and Amazon, this case could set a precedent for how monopoly power is addressed in the tech industry. As we watch this case unfold, it serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance between fostering innovation and preventing monopolistic practices. It's a dynamic tension that will continue to shape the tech landscape for years to come. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of a pivotal moment in tech history. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more updates on this and other tech-related topics. Until next time, stay connected.